Hey y'all, it is July the 2nd. We're approaching the 4th. Y'all, it's July the 2nd, 2018, and I wanted to make it's kind of in a sense, personal video, but in a sense, it's also dealing with this Nick Cruz stuff, just because I've been thinking about it a lot, obviously. I've been spending a lot of time on it and researching on it and stuff. I think it's very important. It's so important, I think, that I might as well dive into it. You ever wanted like a cause and stuff like that? You be like, what is my cause? What is my purpose? I don't know what should I do with my life and stuff like this. Have you ever done that? It's silly. To me, it's silly. And at this point, it's like, dude, any one of these situations, any one of these, like Tommy Robinson, South Africa, anything that you want to think of is a situation worth diving headlong into. And I recognize that. All right, and for one reason or another, I think I'm feeling it necessary to just go ahead and dive onto this one. Just dive in. The reason is because I feel like there's so much inconsistencies that I got a sure thing here. It's pretty sure, all right? I'm pretty outraged at the idea that we're not given any sort of answers. When all these people die, the thing is, I do care when children die. I do. So, anyways, the video that I just put out, and I got all these other ones in the works and stuff, and I'm thinking about this and that. The video I just put out was about Samantha Fuentes, who actually I was in the process of making another shorter video about something else about Samantha Fuentes. I was already in the process. I haven't uploaded it yet to YouTube, but I was already in the process when I came across the video in question from the video earlier where she was saying that there was no facial expression. And that was very ominous. I gotta admit, sounds pretty ominous. That's why I clicked the headline I wanted to know. I wanted to see it. I want to see what she had to say. And she certainly said what she said. It wrote it in the article, and then if you click the video, that goes with it, the correlating video, you'll see that she does say exactly what it says in the article. And this was on February the 22nd. Now, I've already received a certain kind of comments for the video, and they're comments to be expected. They really were. All right, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Of course, Samantha Fuentes had made previous interviews and recounted the shooting. All right, I think it's very important that we get the more previous interviews than February the 22nd. All right, because it happened on the 14th. That's a week later. All right, at least if that interview was published. We probably should go ahead and get, the records of what she told police. It just makes sense that we should get those records. All right, does she mention the same thing? All right, or is that something that she recounted later? And if she did recount it later, that's not to say that, that's bad on her part. Maybe she did recount it later. However, even though I'm showing you this video, it says that she saw him, and so it would give her. It would make sense that she would be able to recognize him. You do have to note that there is wordplay involved. In the video, if you go back to the video and the article, you will see that she says he has no facial expression, but nobody ever stops her and says, "Do you mean Nick Cruz had no?" Because that's the thing about it. The witnesses hardly ever say the name Nick Cruz. Samantha Fuentes says he didn't have no expression on his face, meaning half of the dang world basically said he doesn't have his. And the thing is, we already know, according to Sheriff Scotty Israel, #1 sheriff in all of America, trying to keep us safe, according to him, there was a balaclava on the scene. Now, a whole heap of people seem to think that there was gas masks involved and smoke bombs involved, to include a whole heap of people who are banned from the campus, to include that security guard, you remember, with the golf cart and stuff? He's banned from the campus, you understand? All right, they tried to smear him you know what I mean? They totally tried to smear him on the television, probably, or I saw it on the internet. The thing is, he happened to see gas masks. He happened to see smoke bombs. With Sheriff Israel, he saw no gas masks or no smoke bombs. I guess they probably saw two different surveillance footages, or they talked to different people, or something happened. All right, but Israel does say that there was a balaclava, which, if you don't know, it's be a mask all over your face. Sometimes it's in Muslim countries, right? It's got slits right here. Can't see nothing but your eyes. Can't see nothing but your eyes. Can't see nothing but your eyes. Now, could it have been that this lady saw a man, right, looking through the window? Because you gotta understand, he's firing through the window for a reason. You might say, well, his magic door is in between him and the children. He can't go inside. He can only shoot through the windows. Ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do is shoot through the windows, reach inside, open the door, and it is that easy. I've heard eyewitnesses talking about it's like not that easy. It is that easy. It's simply that easy. In fact, I heard a testimonial, and I forget who said, where they heard someone smash in the window and then reach inside, and then reach their gun inside and start shooting. If you smash, obviously you can reach through the window, open the door, and start shooting up everybody if you wanted, but he didn't want to. All right. So she just saw him at the window, and it makes you wonder how that is. Makes you wonder how that is. All right, but what I'm venturing to guess, because she was not very specific and nobody asked her to specify, what I'm venturing to guess is the man who brought the balaclava, he was wearing the balaclava. All right, it stands to reason, right? Why would he take it off in the middle of the shooting spree? All right, did he need to breathe? It's like, let me take off this balaclava real quick. Looking at this window real quick and stuff. It's like, dude, you're on surveillance camera and you know it. Right, Sheriff Israel swears by it, that you're on surveillance camera and stuff, that he's seen everything. So it's okay, so that's what I'm guessing had happened, because she did not specify at all. I would need some specification. I'm gonna have to ask you some specifics, put you under oath maybe, ask you some specifics. Samantha Fuentes, if I'm the defense attorney. But the defense attorney is not trying to do that in this case, right? You understand that? All right, so I don't know. She said she saw the expression. It was probably through a balaclava or whatever. She saw his eyeballs and said, I can't see much in those eyeballs. There's no expression. Freaking out about it. But the thing is, that's fine. It's fine and then it's still it's still an accurate testimonial. The thing is, I gotta know, did you see his face? I gotta know. If I'm a reporter, I gotta know. Ma'am, I forgot her name, the lady with Samantha Fuentes. I gotta know. You gotta tell me. His face, did you see it? Whose? I'm trying to write for the paper here. All right, if anybody could do their jobs, Samantha Fuentes would have already specified, but she never did. That's interesting. Isn't that interesting? Man, I keep forgetting to bring a drink out here. All right, but I wanted to close up on this. Like I said, it's going to be kind of a personal video. I mean, I'm going to relay this sort of messages and these sort of thoughts and ideas and ponderings on the internet one way or another. But I wanted to make this video specifically because, like I said, I found this situation that was worthy enough to be dived into for some reason. I don't know. I kind of connected to it. I really connected to it for some reason. I noticed, and this was after the fact, like for a couple weeks, I had no real clue about the situation. And then I started diving into it, way back in February. It died down a long time. Didn't really talk about it too much. And now it's like right here, everybody's thinking about it. Everybody who I know is thinking about it. All right. And it's plastered all in front of our faces all day. That's the thing about it. Most of us would have forgot about it, to include myself. I would have easily forgot about it. And isn't that interesting to note? I didn't even pay attention to it when it happened. For a week, I really didn't know what people were talking about, right? But the thing is, it plastered it all in front of our faces. Really had no choice, and so for some reason or another, I felt it worthy enough to dive into. All right, I wanted to talk about something real quick because she was talking about facial expressions, and it's kind of interesting to know that a whole bunch of sort of different people would describe Nicholas Cruz as autistic, and so much to say is that he would probably describe his own self as autistic. All right, he's been known to do so. And he's, I guess, diagnosed with all sort of different things. ADD, the typical stereotypical thing about children where you want them to sit in the chair and they won't sit in the chair. So we give him pills and stuff. You try to give him pills, say they got ADD. Right? Got that ADD, kid. Sit in the chair. Right? Thing is, and he had autism and things of this nature, and I think that's kind of a lot of the reason why I immediately started connecting to it. I kind of felt it in him. When I saw him, I just kind of felt that sort of thing in him. Right? And it became more intriguing, more and more intriguing, especially that it was open, that he was very, or not very autistic. I don't even know what you describe as very autistic, but he was autistic, or some variant connected to that. And we were just looking at these videos earlier. Samantha Fuentes talking about his facial expression. His facial expression. Right? And so I was doing research. And I was looking at that video. I was looking at a couple of other different articles, videos, this and that. And I came across a video of a YouTuber who I've seen before, and the fact that I've definitely learned a lot of things from her. She's not my regular type of YouTube content person I see, but she talks about autism a lot, and her personal autism, and she's talking about something I never heard anybody talk about before. All right, and I wanted to kind of put it out there for anybody who might be autistic out there. Might think you're autistic, you might think that somebody's autistic and stuff like this. And I wanted to know if you notice this particular attribute. Here's the thing: the YouTuber, she was talking about that it's a situation where she noticed that normally that she cannot control her facial expression. Right? She can't control it. It's not under control of it. She can make silly faces and goofy faces just like anybody else. But other than that, she really doesn't know, and she's really not aware. She's really not aware of the facial expressions that she's making. She can't really control them. Like if she feels happy, she's gonna look that way. Irregardless, she can't really manipulate her face that way or her facial expressions in any sort of way. They just happen automatically. She's not even aware of really what she looks like. And I don't know about the regular everyday folk out there, what exactly they do with their face. I know a lot of people try to look happy when they're sad. I know a lot of people try to look sad when they're happy, or I don't know. They'll do that and they'll be acting out. They'll be like, you know what I mean? People who are just kind of playing around and acting all sort of different ways. Maybe they're acting happy when they go to work, but really inside they're all torn up inside. That sort of thing. All right, we know that people are capable of doing that. This lady, she said, pretty much she don't have those capabilities. That's kind of, if you call it a disability, or if you call it a capability. I don't know what you call it, but she cannot control that. Whatever it is, it's on her brain. That's going to show in her face. She cannot stop it, except by making goofy faces. All right. I found that very interesting to know in this particular situation. I had come across that video just today, and I was looking at it, and I was pondering it. All right. Thing is, it was actually maybe a month ago or a couple months ago, something like that, for me, myself, that I started to really, really understand. Just from talking to people who know me, who see me like on a day-to-day basis. My mom, for example, she's telling me some certain things that I never really knew. All right, but just talking openly, I was able to understand that on a personal note, I cannot control my face. I have no control over it. All right. It's been an interesting journey being on YouTube just because I see what my face is doing. Other than that, I would have not a clue in the world. It's kind of interesting. And I came to know actually on a personal level that when I get very, very, very comfortable, when I'm in comfort mode, you know what I mean? Security mode, safety mode, when I'm like in that bubble, if I'm comfortable, my face does nothing at all. Every muscle in my face relaxes, and I don't think about it. I never think about it. It just happens. And I came to know that I figured out that when that happens, I actually look like I'm pissed off or something. And y'all wouldn't know on the video on the YouTube and stuff because I'm looking at my face while I'm talking to you, and I can kind of see what my face is doing. But when I'm in regular, everyday, normal life, if I'm in comfort mode or if I'm in the zone and I'm just not really thinking about too much around me, my face looks pissed off. And the thing is, people might have thought that I knew that. No, I did not know that my whole life. I had no clue. Did not know. But I look pissed off, and so I noticed that, for most of my life, people are very standoffish. They'll be like off in the distance or off in the corner just looking at me, and they won't talk to me very much, and I always wonder why. It's because I look pissed off. But it's just when my face is completely relaxed when that happens. And most of the time when I'm out in public, I actually feel kind of awkward. All right, a lot of people do feel kind of awkward. And I noticed from people telling me in the situation where I'm out in public and I feel awkward, they tell me that I smile, that I'm always smiling. The thing is, for the most part, I'm pretty well happy. I'm a happy type of person. It doesn't take me too much to get me satisfied. Alright, but in public, I swear, strangers, people at my work and stuff come up and tell me, why are you always smiling? You're always smiling. Why are you always so happy and stuff like this? To which I say, I don't know. I don't know what my face is doing. I have not a clue. Alright? And I couldn't tell you if that was an autistic trait. I never heard anybody talk about it until today, really. I had kind of like the instinct that probably it did have something to do with it, but I never heard anyone talk about it until today. Like a lack of control over your facial expressions. You just can't control it. Me, there's a smile that comes across my face when I'm in public, around strangers, people who I don't know and stuff like this. Come to reason that it's probably my face breaking the ice. You know what I mean? Making myself, what is it, where you can come up to me, and talk to me. Making myself presentable. My face will do this. My lips are just naturally curled up, and so it looks like I'm smiling all the time. All right, except when I'm comfortable, it looks like I'm pissed off. I can't control it. I have no control over it. All right. So I brought up that whole personal thing just to kind of put it out there, see if anybody else, has experienced this sort of thing. Right? And has it been a problem in their life? It's certainly been a problem in my life. But, it's something that I had to get to know. I had to come to know this about myself. All right, before I knew it about myself, it really was a problem. Right now, it's not so much of a problem because I can explain it to people. All right, but I said all that, of course, to say, chances are, quite obviously, this lady did not see his face. She saw his eyes through eye slits, and she's like, oh man, his eyes look like with no expression. So she assumed the rest about his face. All right, I'm here to tell you, if indeed Nicholas Cruz is, this is what I'm guessing. I don't know because everybody's individuals, but I'm venturing the guess that Nicholas Cruz wouldn't be able to control what's on his face. If he's shooting up the whole school, and that's his plan for life, even though he planned it all wrong and did it in the opposite way he planned, and stuff like this, if he was really having the time of his life doing what he was doing, he wouldn't be able to control the big ass smile on his face. Tell you what. I'm here to tell you. I don't know, holler back at me if you know anything else about autism and this and that with facial expressions. He'd have a big old smile on his face. He'd be loving it. He'd be like, oh, this is what I'm made to do. I gotta do this. And he'd be wilding out. All right, he wouldn't be expressionless. Certainly there are types of human beings who would be expressionless and methodical and professional, stuff like this. That wouldn't be Nick Cruz. He's a 19-year-old little boy. All right. So it's a lot to think about. I think definitely, in any case, Nicholas Cruz and many others are bringing a whole lot to autism awareness, even though Nick Cruz has been silenced into oblivion because that, for some reason, is due process now in America. All right. Anyways, it's July the 2nd, y'all, 2018. I appreciate all y'all out there and what y'all do. I can't stop, won't stop. Holler back at me.